All right, what secrets did would-be presidential assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks take to his grave? More than a month after he tried to kill Donald Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, there's still no clear explanation of why he did what he did. As for the how, well, it was almost too easy. Every week, we're learning more about the gaping holes in the Secret Service's security operations that day, holes wide enough to steer a super tanker through. Clearly, Crooks did not require the skills of Carlos the Jackal. That gross incompetence nearly cost Trump his life, and it did cost former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle her job. And let's not forget volunteer firefighter and Trump supporter Corey Comparator, who died on the scene thanks to Crooks's marksmanship. Today, a bipartisan congressional task force visited Butler. And in these hyper-partisan days, one of the few things both parties can agree on is that they don't want presidential candidates assassinated on live television. So what did they learn on today's tour? Local law enforcement walked them around the Butler Farm showgrounds. The lawmakers even climbed onto the roof of the AGR building where Thomas Matthew Crooks had positioned himself. First, they got a first-hand look at the would-be assassin's location when he took aim at the president before he was taken out by snipers. The congressional investigation is one of several underway into the security failures that day. That includes an internal probe by the Secret Service. Just days ago, the agency placed at least 5 members on leave as it conducts its investigation. The lawmakers held a press conference after their tour, and for more on that, let's go to the rally site in Butler, Pennsylvania, where NewsNation correspondent Joe Khalil is standing by live. Joe, please tell us, this was more than a photo op. Did they have anything important to say?
I think it was more than that, Elizabeth. I think they had to be here and go through it and actually walk the grounds. I think the better question is, why didn't they do this sooner? You know, their job, these 7 Republicans, 6 Democrats, is to investigate the failings, what missteps, and there were multiple at many levels, allowed for this kid to get on the roof, I shouldn't say kid, 20-year-old man, and actually fire rounds off at Donald Trump without being caught. Now, they can do that investigation through phone calls, through pictures, through video, but there's something about actually being here, experiencing it, seeing what people here saw that informs their questions. And actually, some members said they now have even more questions after being here and seeing it. This is what Congressman Mike Kelly, who chairs this task force, told us when we asked him what he gets from actually being here.
It's the difference between day and night. When you're actually here on this surface, when you're actually walking in these grounds, when you're actually going to the building, when you're actually up on the roof, when you're actually looking at where did we have people positioned, where was the shooter positioned, if you can actually look at that right now in person, then all the rest of the pictures right away, it's like, okay, I got it, I know where that was.
Elizabeth, so one thing that I was reminded of today, Congresswoman Madeleine Dean from Pennsylvania told me as she left that it was chilling to be on top of that roof. It brought me back to the congressional hearing I was in when the acting director of the Secret Service said the same thing, that he had climbed up to that very roof, looked at the exact view line that the shooter had at Donald Trump, and in that moment said he felt more ashamed than at any other point during this investigation. He says it's unjustifiable that this person was able to climb up in that atmosphere on a building that was unguarded. You got a lot of questions here that they are now trying to answer. This is one visit here. This is one piece of their investigation. There are going to be more down the road. And there's one thing we've heard from a couple of lawmakers not on the task force, and that is they feel like the FBI and the Secret Service are stonewalling the investigation. Elizabeth, the lawmakers today told us they don't think that's the case. They've asked for some information. They've gotten some back. They need to get more information, but they say if there is stonewalling they suspect, they're not going to be quiet about it.
Yeah, I think the congressmen have all said they've gotten a lot of cooperation. I think it was Senator Ron Johnson who said he was being stonewalled. Look, we haven't really been able to get to the bottom of what he's talking about. Joe Khalil reporting live from Butler, Pennsylvania. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.